This is from, this is question and answers. Oh, hello, everyone. Oh, I'm adding this on to the spirituality versus academics part 2. But I want to break that off and get to some of your questions, because you guys are asking very good questions. And I think it's very important that we focus on these and help get everybody well. Everybody deserves to feel well and get their joy back and everything else. And it's a toxic consciousness here on this planet, and a toxic planet. So and here's a good guy. He's called Angry American. Good body here, really good body. You want to trade? He's very sick. He lives in the Midwest, well, which is where I'm from. So I was wondering if you do phone consultations. Absolutely. I think the vaccinations I received in the Army are contributing to my health problem. Could very much be, man. I mean, you guys are bad. I am a young man. I have been diagnosed with osteoporosis and hypercoagulation. I am tired and in trouble, pain all day long. I used to be an elite athlete, but now I spend the majority of the day in bed. And this guy's got a great body here. One idiot doctor put me on 3 antibiotics and an antiviral for 1 year. I almost went into liver failure. Yeah. I'm sorry, Angry American, that you had to go through that, my friend. I'll tell you, I see this all the time. I have, you know, we talk about our the military, you know, and the difficulties in war zones and things. But you also have to think the toxicities, and this is another level we're not thinking about, is the toxicities that these poor souls are subjected to. And this guy's right on with this. My friend, I tell you, again, you're going to go back to detoxification. Let's go back to looking at this. The reason, of course, you're feeling the pain and everything is your lymphatic system. That's acids from your cells. You're feeling those acids from your cells, so that's right. What's happening here, though, is your body is stealing calcium from your bones to fight that acidosis. And it simply is going back to your kidneys and adrenals, and you're not filtering your lymphatic system. And you need to do that. And you were an athlete. You look like you've got a great body, but I can tell you got a protein body here, and you've wrecked your kidneys. So you got to get those kidneys cleaned up, get your creatinine pulled sometime. Let's take a look at your kidney function and see where you're at there, but you're just not filtering. To stop the calcium from being borrowed from your bones and put it back is to make sure you have a good parathyroid gland. So it's hard to tell if you have a good parathyroid gland, other than bruising easy, you have spider veins, varicose veins, cramping, depression is a good one. Those sort of things are all parathyroid problems. Osteoporosis, osteopenia, they are when you can't fix them when you're doing everything right. You have to look at that parathyroid. I work on the parathyroid no matter what, simply because when you want this young man not to get scoliosis, you don't want this young man to go any more into kidney failure and lymphatic problems. You'll get into RA here. That's where a lot of these athletes move into, rheumatoid arthritis. So, and he's been on a lot of vax. The guy probably gave him a sulfa drug too, which is going to exacerbate all his problems. It's like MSM. It'll make you feel good for a while, take you off of it, and you get hit 10 times harder like any steroid would. That's sulfur. And look at all the meningitis. Get this. Fungal meningitis, right? Remember I told you the last 2 words, because I'm not an academic, methyl acetate. Interesting for a steroid. And guess what? It had to have some fermentation to be fungal. So obviously the fermentation got to the process, but still it's methyl acetate, or a form of that. So not only were they injecting a high acid into the tissues, which I don't understand where that thinking came from, but it was tainted. It had fermented, so you had fungus involved. Remember, fermentation is a fungal issue. So look what they did to those poor people. Injected into the spine. I mean, this is the kind of mad scientist, this is the kind of academics Philip likes. Sorry, Philip. You got to go out and go on some raw foods and clean out your head a little bit, and and meditate and get beyond your mind, Philip, or it's going to take you down a not a friendly road. Angry American, I'm on your side to help you, bro. Listen, detox yourself, get yourself on I'd go on some greens too, since you've been subjected to a lot of toxins and chemicals. I'd probably do some power up with some green drinks, particularly with a lot of alfalfa. You could use wheat if you want, but alfalfa is more my favorite. Any dark green stuff, especially parsley, cilantro, dandelion greens, and also your high fruits like your dark grapes, your cherries, your dark blueberries, blackberries. All this will help to neutralize and pull and clean. Get your kidneys filtering, my friend, and get your adrenals and kidneys back in line. Go back and review our videos on the lymph system and stuff and really get your lymph moving. Pull these acids out, then all that pain will come out of that body. You'll stop losing calcium out of the structure, and you'll put it right back in the structure. So be glad to help you, my friend. Get yourself back, but not difficult. You got a great body here. Just get those kidneys back online. You'll see what proteins do to the kidneys, and you want to fix that. But I'm an angry American too, but I'm trying to be detached and not involved too much there. I did watch the debate a half. I couldn't stand to hear Biden laugh anymore or go in his ridiculous. I couldn't do it. I think we're at a very serious cross point here. April new to Raw. April, I love that name. Where did that come from? I was born in April. April new to Raw. That's pretty cool. Listen, I love all you guys that are new to Raw. This is fun. You want to go out and have fun with it. Enjoy it. It makes you feel better. You get your sense of taste and smell back that you never realized you lost. I mean, and the hearing, everything gets better, 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 better. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Hello, Dr. Morris. Love your videos. And you guys can call me Robert. I don't care. I'm not a person that needs to have that doctor word in front of my name at all. I don't really care. This isn't about me. This is about us, and this is about changing the consciousness of creation at this level a little bit. And those souls that are ready to go home, let's go, or go to a higher level. That's more who I'm interested in. Those that are going to stay and play, go ahead, have fun. But pleasure to have you aboard, sweetheart. Thanks for doing what you do. Thank you for coming aboard. I mean, I love all you guys coming in and getting your health together. It should always be fun. It's not a big academic issue. We want to have fun with it. I have learned a lot. So just wondering, for someone who's thinking about going on the Master Cleanse, are you saying that you should just drink the recipe for the cleanse? Is there anything else? Should I drink water too? What about the salt water flush and the herbal tea? Yes, or don't do that. Well, I really have never recommended the saltwater flush. I really never have done that, and the herbal teas, but we never do that following a flush because we're all raw after a flush. I do recommend a nice fruit diet for the next day or two. You clean out more, break out more. Yeah, I don't use the saltwater flush. I'll say this, you can play with these things as you will. If you're new to a Master Cleanse, I'd probably suggest, sweetheart, that you do the grapes first and do maybe a 10-day grape fast or a 5-day grape fast. Go slow first, see how you like it. It's like wearing a piece of clothes. No, this fits pretty good. That's what you should, and get out there and try that and work yourself up. Clean a little before you try to tear something up too much. And it'll make things go better, and you'll have more fun doing it. But if you want to go strict, then you just do the lemon juice, and you can do it with or with cayenne pepper or maple syrup or not, or honey, agave, whatever you wish. There's no laws out there that says anything like that. You just play and have fun. And that's what it's meant to be. Cleaning your body more of these acids, the thing that's hurting this angry American, all these acids and stuff, and all these vaccines they pump with these guys. I mean, it's just... They lose their nervous systems. They lose their kidneys. And like he said, he's almost lost his liver with this. And what was that medical doctor trying to do with antibiotics and antivirals? What was he trying to accomplish with that? See, that's the point. Where are you going with your concepts of antibiotics and antivirals unless you totally blame them for all your diseases and all the pain and all the problems, which I think is insane? Because we are full of bacteria constantly. It'd freak out the average person, but that's nature. Every animal has them. And believe it or not, most animals have worms in them too, if you hadn't noticed. You guys see the monsters within you the other night? Woo-hoo, that was, man. That guy almost lost his hands, lost his legs, but he said his fingers turned all black, gangrene. Parasites. Misdiagnosed. So I think it's time we wake up to the parasitic world as being very much integrated into the lab that we have here called Planet Earth, and get involved there. So play with this master cleanser. You can also do lemons with grapes, or do 2 or 3, honey. You can play however you want. Make this a fun thing, and it's just your self-discipline and your body. Now, or a physical body, and the other ones will come clean with it. And so you're cleaning, and that's the gig. You're just trying to get your body well. Well, how does nature do that? Fasting and detoxification. So we just apply the laws of nature to this, but I didn't even have to go to school to learn that, I did go to school and learn that, but I learned it a little before that by others who had preceded me, kind of like Shelton and Fry and all these good, Errett and all these good people that had actually done it. And these weren't high intellectuals, although there were some good medical doctors. Fry, there was a lot of Tilden. John Tilden, he was a medical. There were some good medical doctors that really tore this apart, became raw, and then tore up the ridiculous concept of proteins and that kind of concept. So I get back in those books. Just surround yourself with like-minded people, and it helps your journey better. So welcome all you new people to the raw side of this. Go to Dan McDonald's. You got a lot of raw. A lot of you out there are raw. All these YouTubers are raw. So everyone has good stuff to say on all their sites. I love all you guys. Thanks for the videos. Thanks for all you're doing. Look at what we're doing here. We've created a mean, lean healing machine. Yeah. And we need this angry American on board. Look at him. He's suffering. We need these people. April, come aboard. We are going to show the world how to get well, and a power force of love and humility. It's obvious. A huge lack of humility, a huge lack of spirituality, and placed with academics. If you're not academically acceptable, you're a what? And so that's got to break. The mind, remember, controls creation. And you, if you're not careful. This is Scott Davidson, 32. Hey, Scott, man. I'm so mad. I've heard that Whole Foods produce may be GMO. Well, don't get mad, man. I saw something else about Whole Foods the other day, too. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, oh, no. I don't know what to say. You know what? It's the world we live in, guys, and you do your very best you can. Don't get too mad, man. I mean, I don't know what to say. We all need to be on board, and what you do is go up and complain to Whole Foods and say, you know what, a lot of pure people buy here, and if you're going to use genetically modified foods, if that's in your motto, then would you please mark it so we know? Because that would be important to establish that. Even common grocery stores out in Texas like H-E-B. H-E-B will not allow, and this is a big grocery store chain, huge one like Kroger and all this, but really big store chain. I was talking to, I knew some managers in several of their stores, and they have a real strict guideline to how much pesticides. Too bad they allow any, but at least they have a strict guideline to how many pesticides a food can have on it, and they test for it. It's a start. It's a grocery store chain. So I like that. They need to protect us, the private citizen, from Monsanto and these kind of people that are the academicals that have the intellectual side of this down, that's destroying everything because of that. That's the problem with that. Academics again. Look at Monsanto. Whoa, we'll just control the seeds of it. Was that an academic thinking or a greed thinking? But that comes with narcissistic thinking. Most narcissistic thinking is a direct result of the mind, since it is attached to the higher part of the mind. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I don't go to Whole Foods. Yeah. Come in. Open. No. I don't go to Whole Foods because I can't afford Whole Foods. Down here, Whole Foods is so expensive. I drop $400 every time I go in there. I just don't go in there anymore. And I just, no offense to Whole Foods, but I think that if grocery stores are going to use genetically modified foods or any ingredient in it, they need to have a big sign there in bright red neon letters. Genetically modified, it may not be good for you. If so, they've been ripping me off for the past year. Probably, man. I don't know. You know what? That's why we need to become a team, all of us, and become as strong, as powerful as a voice as we can. I don't know what to say about it. It's as disgusting for me as it is you guys. And I tell you, I'm so discouraged from some of that. It's like, it just makes you want to just say, okay, you guys want to play at this level of drama, go ahead. We all are going to go to a higher level of activity in the God worlds, and we'll have a lot more fun. I mean, this is ridiculous to kill each other and have these guys. But this is the academic. This is exactly what my point is. This is the difference between the mind and soul. You don't have any spiritual people doing that stuff. Matter of fact, they put a stop to this crap. But it's the academically educated that's doing this. Well, Philip, you're one of the academically educated, I take it. I mean, this is the problem. This is exactly the problem, man. Scott, I don't know what to say, my friend. Doc, is it possible that this is why some are having it? It could be possible. It could be. My problem is that if you're in a country like ours is, you're in Indonesia or you're somewhere that have good fruits, we don't hear the people with the problems. It's the fruits in America, and I admit it. I mean, I think this is the highest level of healing force we have, but it's also the most mutated level of food sources we have. And I think you're getting a good point, Scott. It could be a reason why a lot of people are having trouble with the fruits. They don't understand where we're at yet. They just don't understand. And for those that have come to our classes and seen the pictures we showed you and things, I think you get a good handle of that. Excuse me, I've showed you some pictures on YouTube here that's not very pleasant to look at. And that's nothing to what we see here every day. And it's, after a while, all I can say is it really gets to you. I just sometimes can't handle it because it's like the suffering and the misery of this. And if you trace it back, it is definitely the individual's fault. In an unawareness, but in a society that should know better by now, in a society that sells because it's more financially gainful, not financially helpful in terms of, or healthy for the person. We've created this. We men have created what we're looking at, and these poor souls that are struggling to make it with the hard lymph nodes and the lymph systems that are actually been fried or hardened like rocks, and they're seeking remedy. They know they can get remedy, but they want it like this, and it could take them a year, 2 years, I don't know. All I can say is that we're against the toughest battle man's ever faced. And it's not with each other. It's with the whole understanding of the medical community and what that's done to us. The poisons they put in, the suppression of the natural body's functions of detoxification and elimination. All these things have been going on for hundreds of years now. And now man's cells are showing it. Like, this is beyond. And for those that don't get that, just ride with us for a while on YouTube and observe, and Facebook, all the problems and all the stuff we're having. And you're seeing it. Guys, don't get frustrated, please, on Facebook. I don't know where you're at, but don't get frustrated at all. You see what I'm seeing. We're up against a very tough time. And look at this. Whole Foods probably lied to Scott, and now, I don't know, Scott. I'm on your side, man, 100%. Man, I wish I had some land. So I know. You're seeing a lot. You're seeing a lot of people going back to the land again. I personally think we're going to end up buying farms, and we're going to have communes again, because I don't think survival outside of that's going to be possible too well. There's no jobs, and the food is horrible. And in this country, I think we're going to go back to communal living to some sort. I'm not advocating it. Don't anybody jump on me. But I'm just saying that these poor people, we have nowhere to go. People have no money. People need good food. They have a right to be healthy. But the mind, although, has the other side to it too. So I'm on the negative side of the mind, but the mind has the beautiful side too. It has the positive and negative forces it controls, believe it or not. Sorry, Scott, I don't know how to help you. I wish I knew. I just see, that's how I see the world, just corrupt as all get out. And it's just, and all I know is we need to be a voice. We just need to be a voice. And for those that are on the voice, those guys are pretty good. Man, there's some good people out there. This is Ron, diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis. Well, you could have had a better diagnosis, Ron. I mean, you really got to move your lymph, because interstitially, this is just what acids do, to give you a good example of how acids work in the lungs or anywhere else. It fries it like a piece of chicken. And It scars you up and everything. Oh, these are acids. That's what acid cytochemistry does, folks. And this is why it's so important to understand the body's lymphatic system and just what that means to you. Location, location, location. Think of pain. Think of swelling. Think of deterioration of cells. Think of scarring, bone breakdown. All of this. These are diseases. These aren't diseases. This is what the acid cytochemistry is doing to you. It's that simple. They're often chasing rainbows. That's not even a rainbow. These guys are chasing, I don't know, dead things into the ground or something. You're burning up interstitially. This is interstitial, and this is all. And you didn't have to be a smoker to have pulmonary fibrosis or cystic fibrosis. You wouldn't have to have it. You be a smoker. All this could all be your lymph system. Having only 48% lung capacity, I was desperately searching YouTube for answers and found you, Dr. Morris. Well, thank you, Ron. Now, listen, we have a 3-lung tea. I'd really get on that. Start drinking it, inhaling it. That's only 3 herbs in there. Start breaking up that hardened sputum in the lung wall interstitially. You want to really hit your kidneys and adrenals. One, for the nervous system to the lungs, but also because the kidneys filter these acids that are scarring your lungs, filtering that out of there. Very important. You want to clean up your gut. Get in one of our programs, clean up your bowels, and get that cleaned up there. An answer to my prayer. Oh, thanks, man. Let me see. God bless you, my friend. Well, thank you, Ron. Now, listen, you get yourself out of this trouble, because nothing ever could with this one. You know that one. He's on the Fab 4, parasite M, adrenal glands, and I'm a raw food vegetable eater who just can't seem to get enough. Fruit, wow. Lung capacity is up to 66% now. Huh? Ha ha ha! Lost 25 pounds, don't miss a junk, and I'm helping other friends aboard the Great Lymphatic Train. Woo! Woo-hoo! To you, Ron. I'm going to tell you, Ron, this is how you do it, buddy. And you're just another proof of the pudding. Great results, Ron. Keep going till you're 100% clean and green, buddy. Get that. Make sure your kidneys are filtering. Get in that lung number 2. Get into 3-lung tea. Break all this up. Get all these acids out of there. Tissue will unscar itself. Healing will take place, and you'll be in good shape, my friend. Good deal. Now, there's just another great example of someone that wore the robe, took it on, and now he's getting his health back. And that's what it is. Academics aside. Oh, there was some, I have to admit, because you're going to beat me up for that. You have to have academics, don't get me wrong. Anybody that would claim that would then be probably having a problem with that too. You have to understand, this is about those that rely on the mind, and that people that can spell words 10 miles long, and that really makes the person. This is all about the idiocy and the intellectual and the ego, and we need to overcome that, because this Ron is a great example of what people can attain here if they put their mind to it, but they have to have access to this information. And it's been blocked for years by states, by feds, and still the FDA would love to block your awareness of how to get well. Now, how is that a consumer protection agency? Not. So I just, it's all going to culminate in some big stuff, because I don't see there's any way that the medical people are going to change without a crash. So when you don't change things, you need to, and God has to come in its own way to do it. It's never much fun. I've had my butt kicked so many times for not listening, and it's like, so, okay, I'm listening. Now, this is a good question by 52 NY. Yeah. How do I get rid of dandruff? The fact that you have dandruff is a problem. And what is dandruff? What is any flakiness on the skin, psoriasis, eczema, anything like that? And what is the skin? So to understand what all this is, you first have to understand your skin is your third kidney. You also must understand that your kidneys, all 3, filter waste out of the human body. Not your liver. It doesn't filter waste out of the human body. Whenever you look at an eliminative organ, that is an organ that's responsible for the elimination of waste, then you can track back what waste it is that those tissues are eliminating. So, what waste would you assume that the bowels are eliminating? Digestive waste, your foods, right? Absolutely. What you don't absorb, going to be kicked right out, right? What about the waste from cells that use that chemistry? Well, that's where the conflict in allopathy's been. Without that understanding, you're left out in the dark, because that's where all people's problems from. Not digestive waste, that's already broken down enough bowels out there, so yeah, we have all that sitting on top of the kidneys and adrenals. So it's all these high-protein diets. I'm sorry. It's we can track it there, we can track it there, and we can track it there. And you can track it there. So all I can say is that with dandruff, that means your lymph system is backed up all the way up and up into your head. And this is, you got to get this out of here. This is your lymphatic system. The next thing you know, you'll start getting a little lightheaded and equilibrium problems, or your vision starts to go, or on and on and on. The balding takes place, things like this. And these are acids in the brain. And then it becomes even worse, like, honey, where did I park the car? So these are no good things. You've got to get your lymph. Clean up your bowels. Remember, the trunk, the GI tract is the trunk. Here's the top of the tree. Branches are liver, pancreas, spleen. All these tissues are hanging on the side. But the trueness is that gut. But then you've got to go to the kidneys. And this is your third kidney. And start cleaning these kidneys. The skin needs the thyroid to sweat well. So the thyroid must be up there to give you at least in the mid-97s in your basal temperatures under your arms to get a good sweat. You can use saunas. I'm against far infrared saunas, of course, but anything that's a Native American sweat lodge type of thinking, where you have steam or you have water, anything like that, right? Okay, that sort of thing. But you've got to get your kidneys and adrenals, sweetheart, get them going so you can get this dandruff out of you, because that is important for what the future will mean if you don't. So make sure you get your kidneys and your adrenals. How to is, we've covered that so much on these videos, how to do these things, that if I take too much time in discussing that, then I won't get to everybody else. So go back to the lymphatic system videos and view what we talk about using 2 lymphatics, 1 capsule, 1 liquid, and go into your kidneys, the adrenal formulas, and cleaning up the bowel with the stomach and bowel formulas, a lymphatic capsule for the bowels, and also the GI broom. Really start cleaning the body out and make sure your dandruff goes away. Very, very important. I can't overemphasize that in terms of what the future can bring for you. Just not what we want to do. And again, this is another guy or individual. How do you move the lymph system? I know it's important, but don't know how. Well, anything astringent is definitely going to be aggressive in that manner, and that takes you to the fruits, the berries, and the melons. And you can all see this on yourselves. And a lot of you have already proved this over and over and over again. The difference between vegetable detoxification, if there is such a thing, and fruits and berries and melons, which really is just a diet for a certain level of species called frugivores. I can't pronounce that, right? So that one's good. Anything like that starts the process. I use the herbs for the lymphatic system. I get into the kidneys. Because the kidneys and adrenals, they're involved in the filtration process. You need those online, and that's where most of the causative problems are to that system. So always work on the adrenals, always work on the kidneys. I use 2 kidney formulas. Look at the kidneys out here. I mean, there's people writing in with kidney problems. Some little 3-year-old here with a kidney problem. Well, no kidding. I think all 3-year-old people have kidney problems. I really do. It's just, how bad is yours? And that's why you see the brain tumors in the kids. This is why you're seeing all the cancers. This is a real serious issue. We're a very serious channel. So for those that want to play games, go somewhere else. Well, this is very serious. We're after the wellness of the human body, and it's easy to get it if you get focused and you understand what causes it to decline. Then you can understand how you build it up. If you never understand what causes things and you live in this illusionary world of diseases, you'll never cure anything, and you'll be like America. It's all autoimmune problems and this and this and this. Well, you can't cure with that kind of thinking, because it's not a causative problem. So you can't have remedy with it. It's very easy to understand that. It doesn't require a mile of academics. I'm sure there's some NASA doctors that can cure pretty good. I had some NASA friends, and they did pretty good on their detox. So should we take their doctorates away? Hey, Dr. M. You can call me Dr. M, Dr. R, Robert. Call me Robert. I don't care what you call me. but you can call me a friend too. I love all of you guys. Please, can you shoot a video on Epstein-Barr virus and my own condition, which is psoriasis? I think lots of hard white stuff on my head and on my knees and arms. And IDK, how to get rid of either of these. God bless. Oh, thanks, my friend. This is Ben. Hey, Ben Evans. All right, Ben Evans. Epstein-Barr virus is a common virus they blame on chronic fatigue syndrome. Again, playing the games. Epstein-Barr virus has been the easiest virus I've ever seen leave the human body. Over Hep C, over any other viral loads, HIV, everything else. Your Epstein-Barr virus leaves the body like crazy. Virals are only antigens. The real issue in chronic fatigue is always going to swing around to the adrenals. Well, now take a look at this. Your next thing was psoriasis. All right, this is the third kidney. Now, the adrenals sit on top of what? The two other kidneys. So this is your kidney and adrenals going back. It's backing up your lymph system to your skin. Psoriasis is chronic, very curable. In terms of psoriasis, not a disease, but psoriasis, extreme subcutaneous toxicity or acidosis, meaning just right under the skin. And this is a very eliminative problem. You just have to get your kidneys and adrenals up and start moving waste toward your main two kidneys. At the same time, open up this skin, get your thyroid up, get your body's sweating up, and you'll see that starting to fade away, fade away, fade away, fade away. You'll have bouts of getting worse and bouts of fading away, and then gone. And real important to go that way, Ben, and get that out, because this is a systemic problem. You know, when we're talking about acidosis here, and we're talking about skin problems or dandruff, what we don't understand is this is a systemic problem, meaning that this lymph and these acids that are causing this dandruff and all these, and remember the urine, when you start filtering your urine lymphatically, it starts looking like dandruff. Exactly. That's acids. That's waste. That's your mucosa. That's the lymph system. That's all tied to the same thing. Interstitial fluids, all tied. Whether they like to believe it or not, it's all tied to the lymph and all tied to the same thing. You know, keep it simple. Why should we waste our time with chasing rainbows that don't exist when we can enjoy the beauty of the now and the beauty of the allness of it? But there are the new souls on the planet that like to play and go look and learn and grow, and go ahead. But don't defame someone else who's been there, done that for how many lifetimes? So, Ben, get this psoriasis out of there. Epstein-Barr virus, easy, but that's going right back. You probably have more an adrenal problem causing fatigue than you do Epstein-Barr virus, but easy to get out of the body. Not difficult whatsoever. Since I've become more awakened on my journey, I've noticed that a lot of what I learned at college isn't agreeing with me. It's like I kind of push away from it. I'm not sure why I struggle with this. Why do you think, Doc? With love, V. Snake Phoenix. I like that name. Well, I think it's just what we've been saying, that there is a time and place for proper academics. There's no question about that. So let me be, that goes without saying. But what man doesn't understand is that he's let the mind rule. And now he's become so narcissistic that we're in a battle with each other over academics. And you see that in the East where they call people infidels. And you see that everywhere. It isn't just not in one region. We're judging others too much. We're doing all these things that all the spiritual guides have said you don't do. We do. And that's where we have to break these things and learn that we're so much greater of beings than the mind. The mind keeps the journey active, whatever you want to experience. If you want to experience judgmental issues and a life of darkness, you can do that. If you want to learn and have knowledge of higher things, you can. But if you're thinking knowledge is going to lead you to God consciousness or to the ecstasy and beauty of life or to truth, you're wrong. Because the mind has nothing to do with truth. It deals in creation and the creative force that creates things, good or bad. Good or bad, good too. The mind is used for good things quite well, no question about it. Look around, academics are used for good things, but you have to have balance with academics. Balance. And even though I didn't mention that on the spirituality versus academics, it's important that one understands balance in academics. or you get out of balance and thinking everybody should learn how to spell words 10 miles long, and that makes the person some kind of special or some kind of knower of what. So this is the sort of thing that people are going through. So just remember that everybody buys their education, no matter how they buy it. And degrees are given away. So that's why I want you guys to feel good about yourselves, that you have the wisdom and the awareness. And I like those two things better, wisdom and awareness, to take care of what's needed. The whole route of health is quite simplistic. The journey can be hell. No question. Some of you are very toxic. You're waking up to, not you, but your bodies. And so we wake up to this. But we're waking up now, we're seeing over here is a little more what truth is, and over here we've been walking down this road of lies. So now you see there's going to be a big clash. But that's okay, because truth is more powerful, always. So with love there to you, V, I don't know what to say. I can just say that most of what I know and what I've learned didn't come from my school. That's just basic A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So what really matters, you know, when I got out of the Air Force, I really wasn't full force Air Force. I was selective service type. I was hired by Reeves Pulley in Columbus, Indiana. And I had several years of experience with the Air Force, and then my whole high school years I was a draftsman. So I was going to be an architect. And so there was a guy right out of college, academically far more than I was, by far, in terms of mathematics and everything. And they hired me instead of him because I had the experience, not the knowledge. I had the knowledge, but I also had experience, and that really is important when you're looking at life. So that's why I want you guys to feel happy, joyful. You don't have to be a medical doctor. Let them play in their worlds. Their worlds are about to come crashing down. We're seeing this in academics. It's crashing down. Academics has to learn balance of consciousness and what that means, because kids are leaving school all over the place. These higher souls are coming in. By the time they're at the 8th grade, it's like, okay, I'm done here. What else you got? You know, these are powerful souls coming here already with a message to teach us. They're just not aware of it yet. They will be. You'll be seeing these young people, and look at what's coming out of some of these young people's mouths. These souls are incredible. We need to make sure their bodies are healthy for them, because we messed up. We weren't listening. We were listening to academics. When I say that, and I look at the American Dietetics Association, there's no academics to the American Dietetics Association. That's where the problem is. If you said academics, there's probably more academics in what we're doing than there is in any other field, because we're based on true chemistry and physics. Exactly what nature is using chemistry and physics. We're right in that. So I don't see how all this pseudoscience and theories out there are run. There's a certain point when you dig into intellectualism that you end up in theories. Well, that's okay for those that like to play with theories. The medical doctors are full of theories, and don't let me just relate to those poor guys. I'm relating to all of us. We work in realms of theories, but I like actualities. And notice now TV, those shows that are real TV, those shows that Fox started this way back, and real TV and actuality TV, taking off like crazy. People want to see the truth. They want to see what is. Tired of these made-up stories and dreams and stuff. What's going on? So I hope don't feel bad about it. You're going to move away from academics a little bit in your learning of God and yourself. And then you can use your mind with what you need to, but you'll learn a lot more than what this level has to teach you academically, because the mind encompasses the whole mental worlds, the whole mind itself, the whole astral world. So there's a lot to the mind. When you think of this small little planet and this little piece of mind that we use here, it's almost funny that people like Philip would even be self-perpetuating with that ego like that, because it just means they don't know nothing. And that's the thing. There's so much to know out there. You can't even have an ego, because it's like we're our bodies are just little bitty in the scheme of all of this. We, of course, are not, but that's why you want to touch that. Because touching that brings humility and love, because it knows that all of us are the same. I can't judge you because I'd be judging myself. And you can't do that. Is that true? Hello, everyone. Don't you think this bear is just cute? Joni, Joni, Joni. The new mascot of the office. Just cute. Cute, cute, cute. Thank you, Rose Archer. Love you too, sweetheart. Thank you too, sweetheart, for all your good comments. Her brother is 24 years old. Now look at all these young people. My God, this is what we've been talking about, guys. He has Addison's disease and has been on 40 milligrams of Cortef for 3 years. He also has Hashimoto's disease. So what he has here, he has kidney and adrenal failure, and he's got thyroid failure. So what that means is these tissues aren't functioning at their capacity, obviously. So this means that he at 24, which, you know, we've been talking a lot about this, is that this young man came in genetically with weakened kidney and adrenals, but it's your brother, Rose, so you got to look at your kidney and adrenals too, honey, because that, you know, that's your brother. So when you look at this poor young man has got, now, he could have a pituitary weakness. We'd have to look at his case more to see if he has a suppression from the pituitary down on the thyroid, down on the adrenals. But I can tell you in most cases of 20-year-olds today, you see specific adrenal weakness. You can see the pituitary too, but you can't go wrong hitting the adrenals and the kidneys ever, ever, ever. And then you want to pick up that thyroid a little bit. It's become weaker and weaker to the point he is now permanently in, what? He is now permanently in bed as he is so tired he can barely move. Oh my God, Rose. Well, we got to get this young man out. He's only 24 years old, for God's sake. Deworm him, too. Don't forget that. On the rare occasion we can get him up, he has to go to a wheelchair. Well, I'll tell you how to turn him totally around, Rose. You got to turn this young man around. Get in here, get a hold of Drew or Fran or Jennifer and get him on a protocol. Get him on an herbal protocol, deworm him. And then remember, watch that Monsters Within You on Animal Planet if you don't believe in parasites, because let me tell you, and they don't even touch a fraction of what most people already have in them. So they're just touching on the bad cases. There's a lot of cases where people are full of worms and stuff. So you want to deworm this guy, viral this guy, just clean him out. And that's all detoxification. But we deworm the first 2 weeks, remember, is a deworming program. So clean him up, get his adrenals. This is where you got a young man this tired. Forgive me, but this is where we're going to go to the pure adrenals from New Zealand. This is where we're going to go to the glandulars, because this young man is so tired, his thyroid is down. I would want to see a picture of his eyes if at all possible, but the suspicion, fill out a health questionnaire. Let's take a look at his case, Rose, and get your brother up, because this is no way for a 24-year-old. And you can get your brother back here feeling good again, I guarantee it. This was a case, this is from Blue Mama of 3. Hi, Blue Mama of 3. And this is Henoch, I can't even pronounce that last word. But anyway, this little 3-year-old has kidney problems. And they could just put kidney problems. My friend's poor little girl can't even stand. She needs to carry him. So he... Poor little guy. So this is a little male. Didn't say the age. Oh, he's only 3. She needs to carry him so he doesn't end up in major pain. He is only 3. See what I'm saying, guys? You see the importance of you guys and what you're out here and what we're learning here? I can't even begin to tell you. These poor little 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. Oh, let's go back. Infants. They're all over the place, guys. These poor mamas and their new little babies makes me want to cry, you know. And then here's the Phillips of the world playing their little games. Man, we have serious issues here to deal with. So, listen, this little boy, you've got to get him on some herbs. And even at 3, we have tons of 3-year-olds on herbs. But you can go slow, but you would definitely want to get him the little boy's adrenal glands too. Clean out his kidneys, get his lymph system moving, and rebuild those tissues. And just kind of get this young man on fruits already. He's 3 years old. He needs to mature in the brain and nervous system. And that requires fruits, berries, and melons if you really want to get him out there academically. I definitely get the fruits, berries, and melons. And be glad to help you with this, Blue Mama. I can't stand any little kid like. So you have someone call up here and get him on a little program. It doesn't have to cost very much. You only need like 3 or 4 tinctures, and they last you forever because a 3-year-old only uses a few drops. So the financial side of this is very cheap, and the raw foods, you got to feed them that anyway, sweetheart. This is a kidney disease that involves purple spots on the skin, joint pain, gastrointestinal problems, and inflammation in the kidneys. So this is all. Now let's go back to this. I don't know about the purple spots. I can tell you because that real suggestive of something like chemicals or pituitary, but something like chemicals. However, the joint pain, the gastrointestinal problem, this is all the effect of this, which is going to be lymphatics. So you could, under this quote unquote disease, put medical doctors' names on it. That's a real academic good one. Most of the diseases have medical doctors' names. Why would I want to learn them? So you see a whole list of problems could be associated with this disease when really it's just kidneys failing and you're not filtering, and at 3 years old. So poor kids got the joint pain. Bloody stools can happen, hives, nausea, diarrhea, painful menstruation for women, vomiting. This is all all signs of lymph, and it's a reaction on the body. So you got to get, this doesn't, none of this is actually surprising with the kids, guys. And we've been preaching this a long time, and this is just what we're seeing here, and why we have to fix these things. And it's always been up to us to fix it. And all these people come down on us and call us all these names and stuff, but in reality, we're the true healers, and we've been here for generations healing people up at one level or another. Now, though, this planet needs a drastic shift, and we're involved in that shift one way or another. So it's exciting. It's exciting. We need a new shift. This is from Organic Superman. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Please, Dr. Morris and everyone else, I need opinions on the Vitargo product. As an extreme endurance athlete, former alcoholic transferred by raw foods and herbs, go Organic Superman. I'm always looking at products to help. Vitargo is a carbohydrate derived from barley starch. I need to know what actions the starch should have on my body, blood sugar, digestion. It is very gluey substance that's mixed with water. I am assuming this could also glue up inside. Well, Organic Superman, I think that's what's called common sense. And I think that's just what you're showing here, is that you've got some common sense to yourself, and you're realizing that starch is a gluey substance. I don't care what source it's from. And that's what we are learning here. It doesn't matter the source, it's the end product. If you want endurance, then get either up on the beet products or use the superfood blends. Get your adrenals back up to where you don't have that lowness. Because if you're running low blood pressures and stuff, you're not going to have the neurotransmitters to get you the endurance. By removing all these acid obstructions out of the body, you're removing resistance to the flow of energy. And as an athlete, you don't want any resistance to the flow of energy. Not when you're when you need that energy to move muscles and stuff. If you're trying to build up, maybe, but we're talking about in process or in activity, and that's when you need to have the machine not dealing with obstructions and resistance to the flow of energy. So the more that you clean your body lymphatically, the more you're removing these obstructions to the flow of energy. And that, for an athlete, is everything. It is not about what you're consuming, it's about the restriction and the obstructions of the flow of energy. It is also obviously about your consumption, but make your energy come from yourself. And you feed your body energy. So getting the spiritual side for an athlete is very important, because that'll give them a tap into a higher form of energy which supersedes all lower forms of energy. At the same time, remove those obstructions, get these acids out. Proteins are obstructive to the flow of energy and not an energetic source. So anybody as an athlete pumping proteins and looking for energy, thinking the wrong way, and of course breaking down kidneys, acidifying the body, and in a long-term issue, working for the arthritises, the RAs, and things like that. Pump super greens, alfalfa, major green, major power for an athlete. Major, major, major. So you can pump up with some green drinks before a run or whatever. All these things are important. But get your body detoxed where you're digesting your foods good, you're absorbing your nutrition good, you're utilizing your nutrition good, which is all the glands on board, and you're eliminating the byproducts from this whole process good. Now, you can reach a level, Organic Superman, that's so out there, man. I'm telling you, for an athlete, it's way out there. Remember those Yale? I think it was Yale or one of those universities that did that study years ago. Somebody I talked to at the class had studied that study. That just showed that not only is a raw foodist a much better athlete, but the higher toward a frugivorish diet, the far better you exceed over a raw food athlete. So there's already been studies out there showing this. So that's what I would do. Gluey substance and starch, disagree with that. Just like you said, it's a glue. It's going to glue your insides up. That's not what you don't want to break down excessive starch for energy and that sort of thing. You use energy in another way. You know, you can use energy in another way, but power up on the green sides and on the green drinks. Thank you. Nice to see you again, or talk to you again. Here's Ben Evans again. Also, please, can you tell me if you have more info on scurvy, as I'm losing all my teeth due to the lack of vitamin C or most other vitamins and minerals? Well, I wouldn't say it was so much on that, Ben, as it probably is your lymphatic system. You don't really... Everybody throws it in their cooked foods even nowadays, so even though it's water soluble, it can get destroyed at low temps. Still, I mean, just move yourself into at least an 80% Ben raw food diet and get yourself up there with what you said earlier. I would get up to 100% raw, get your life back, and then you know, and worry about that. But get these acids out of here. That's what, I'm a good example of what happens when you don't get your lymph system done as deep as you need to get. You should lose your friggin' teeth. And I mean, this is, you know, I'm an example, and all I can say is I teach others, try to do better than me. You know, this is all about working together and all of us trying to do better and, you know, not judging each other. I can't overemphasize that from a spiritual viewpoint, because those people that judge will be absorbed into that, you know, and even Jesus talked about that. Buddha talked a lot about the people that do those kind of things. And, you know, their life is never always fun and good, or they're always never happy. But I would get into the raw foods, the fruits and the berries and the melons. You're not going to be deficient of anything. Pump up a superfood blend there, Ben. But at the same time, move those lymphs, man, because that's probably what you're dealing with more of the problem here. Fecal body odor. This is Cool Fan. Number 1, Cool Fan. What are you on there, man? You on a bike? I am new to your videos, and I find that, but you got a fat tire on the back of that bike. I saw the coolest bike the other day. That back tire was that fat. I'm going, wow, man, that is cool. The bicycle on the front. That was cool. Definitely a custom baby. I don't know if you have spoken about this topic, which is fecal body odor. It is something I have had for over a year now. I got it one day in the summer of 2011 in class. I am in college, and you can only imagine the comments I received from people in my classes. They were very cruel to me. My odor would fill the entire room up in mere seconds after I arrived. I couldn't smell it myself, but others could, and they weren't shy about saying it. This has caused me emotional distress, to say the least. It is not a hygiene problem. I have gone to doctors and wanted so much money and time with no avail. I have done research, and I could have a number of things such as candida. That doesn't cause fecal smell. TMAU, a genetic illness with no cure. Yeah, that's another one. IBS, low stomach acid, and many more. I am doing a diet that consists of aloe vera, coconut oil, lettuce, celery, woodworm supplement, and water. Is that wormwood? I don't eat fruits just in case I have candida, and I have hard sugar. I've heard sugar feeds candida. I don't eat many vegetables, as choline makes TMAU smell it, fecus, or fish. Odor very strong. It is a diet that I am doing to help me. I am getting the vitamins I need to survive. Oh, am I? Also, if you could make a video on TMAU, I have seen a lot of forums on it. You know, I don't know what the forums are on that, but I would suggest right off that you do a major detoxification and hope that you're not having any true leaky gut syndromes. I would hope not. The last time I had, and it couldn't be by now, because you would probably be in surgery. But a lot of people do get true leaky gut syndromes where they leak into the abdominal cavity and they start smelling like fecal matter, no question about it. You could have a leakage somewhere, there's no question about it, but I would think by now you'd be well aware of sepsis or something like that if that was the problem. I'll say this, though, it shows a high level of toxemia and protein putrefaction. That's where most of these extreme gross smells come from, not from fruit, not from fruits and berries and melons and vegetables. They don't make you stink. Matter of fact, they make you smell clean. So this is all about proteins and that. So I would definitely pull my life off of all proteins. I definitely get on a raw food diet, clean up my gut. I don't know if you ever checked your bowels for leaky gut syndrome. Not in the leaky gut we're thinking about, and have you checked that way. But I would definitely get on my lymph system. I clean out my bowel, stomach and bowel, lymphatic capsules, GI broom, really clean my gut up, clean my whole body up. Get your lymph nodes cleaned up, because too excessive of proteins can make your underarms smell foul. But putrefaction, like stool smell, like I said, the last time I smelled that, the guy had a perforated bowel. So I don't know. I can say that your best answer is to detoxify yourself. Don't worry about the chemistry involved. Just keep cleaning yourself out, getting your lymph nodes cleaned out. Proteins can make you stink under the arms and everywhere else. But stool smell, pretty high smell there. So you're having major putrefaction problems. Putrefaction occurs with low stomach acid. There's no question about it, because you're not breaking down or initiating pepsin. However, with that said, you should come off of it anyway. I wouldn't consume any animal products at all. Milks, cheeses, ice creams, animal products at all. They're very stool smelling and putrefactive. So I would get rid of all that, clean my lymph system out and everything else, and see how you smell then. And then you should be quite well. So get yourself on a good detox program, man, and get yourself well there, because that is a serious issue that I, too, would be pretty embarrassed. But just keep in mind, you can get your body cleaned up and get that sweet smell again. Detox that body. If you had a perforated bowel and you didn't know it, you'll know it coming. But just keep that in mind. Just detox and clean your bowels up, because you can have impactions on the bowel wall that can putrefy and make you stink all the way through. Absorb into the lymph nodes and then ooze right out your groin, right out your arms, right out your ears. You can smell foul everywhere. And these acids, these are proteins, and you just got to get off of that and you'll be well. So I'm going to come back. I keep saying that this weekend. I hope I can come in and finish up some good videos and catch up with you there. But really a great pleasure talking with every one of you. I thank you so much for all your love. You guys have done well. Look at the guy, Pulmonary Fibrosis, kicking butt there. You guys are really doing well. I don't know when I'm going to be able to read the eyes that we have in the house here, but probably next week with a no-show. So I love you guys. You take care and have fun. And you have a weekend of spirituality for yourself. And enjoy yourself and go have fun. And eat good and feel good. All righty. I love you all. And we'll see you soon. And remember, always be love. Give love and see love in everything. And it doesn't matter what you call it. And then whoever is whatever, they'll do with it what they want. But you'll always live and bask in love. And that's what's so important, is that you find your joy and your happiness. So all of you have fun this weekend, and I will be back with you soon. Watch your dreams. I might just sneak by some night. So I'm going to do one in Serge's favor. He's right in some ways, in the sense that he talks about, getting, having conversations, and then some of the people getting, I'll say maybe over-passionate about what they think. And I've probably been that guilty too, especially when I first got into this. I probably was a little over-compassionate myself. And some of the things he said, I don't know what Serge's problem, I can't remember. I consume veggies 90%, nuts and seeds 5%, and fruits 5%. I also consume 3 to 4 liters of water per day. He takes non-refined salts like Celtic and Himalayan with my veggies and water. Serge, if that makes you feel good, man, that, of course, you're probably off the side now. That's okay. It's not a detoxifying diet. And I know you made comment you were on it for 7 months and my health got worse, blah, 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 blah kind of crap. There is detoxification, and there is the process of getting well. And if you felt bad for all of 7 months, you weren't doing something right. I don't know what it was. We don't have anybody that like that, so you have to look at everything you were doing. If you feel better where you are, you go right ahead and be where you are. It's not offensive to me at all. There are some people that are too toxic to do some of these deeper programs, no question. Not saying that you're too toxic, but as a rule, this idea of fruits and candida again, you're not going to get rid of your candida by staying away from fruits. There's nothing you're doing with that. Taking 3 or 4 liters of water a day, it's just your concepts as well. Shows you how dehydrated you are, why you feel better on that much water. In reality, you don't realize what's going on with you, Serge. He did make a point that some people get insulted, angry, defensive, and abusive, and then they call me and I do follow up a video slamming them. I only call up a video when someone takes it over the line, Serge. This is not over the line. You have the right to this, and I respect that. It's difficult. There's no question when people they're protective and everything else, and I can understand that. But this is more for Facebook and the healers out there, is that you're going to get people that just have a hard time doing these programs. There's no question. We're at the top of the mountain. One thing Serge did say here that is over the line for him, as far as I'm concerned, is that, you're going to be dealing in people's lives in your hands, and you really got to be careful. That's bull crap, Serge. That's bull crap. People are dying, can't find any help anywhere. That's the problem, Serge. You might be one that didn't get anywhere. I can't tell you why. I'd have to look at your case, and you have to tell me everything you ate and everything else to see why you didn't get benefits, but 90-some% of the people all get benefits. You might have 5% that don't. Let's see, 5% out of 100. That's not bad, Serge. You're only one of a rare few that do this. That's okay. Maybe you need something else or think you need something else. I don't know. Don't know how that is. I'm not insulted that this level of work here doesn't affect you, that you needed to go back to more vegetables and more water. Shows the hydration. It shows the lymphatic problem that you have, though. But you do bring up a good point, though, about people being protective and responding with anger and stuff like this. It depends how hard you're coming at them, too, Serge. So if you come at someone, come at me, I'm gonna come back. There's going to be a certain point where you can just take it, and then you're going to come back. So, I don't know how all that is, but I will say this to all of you. He brings up a good point here, is that we need to respond with love. If people don't want to take on these issues, then don't. I find it amazing that so many people have trouble with the fruits. They're just going to blame the fruits for everything. But as you saw one of our YouTubers talking about it, we have trouble with the quality of fruits, and this could be a problem for them. But ultimately, people that have a problem with fruits are too intellectual, for one thing, and they need their veggies. And this person is very acidic and needs a lot of water to keep that blood halfway from creating a problem. So there's a lot of situations here this person needs to work out. But this person also brings up some good points for us, and that is that we need to watch how we interact with people. And yes, we have people come to us every day, Serge, that's dying. Absolutely. How do you fix them, Serge? Just because you didn't get well, we get most people well where no one else does. So I'll be cautioned to you that that's what you've got to understand. Just because it didn't work for you, it's not a dangerous program. So it's just, I don't know what you're talking about. This is what didn't work for you for whatever reason. Could have been something you did or your own consciousness. Sometimes there's things that are blocking our awareness, that our wellness, that is more emotional or mental. It doesn't all have to be physical. I've seen people do everything right, Serge, everything, diet and everything, and they don't go well because of their state of consciousness. So you might look at that. I don't know. I'm not down on you. I thought you brought up some good points there, but I can tell you, I've seen, we have well over a 90% level of people get rid of their problems. In the cancers, we don't treat it, but those coming in here for their health issues, we've got some tough ones. And if you think we can get everybody, I know you don't. But no one else can either. So we have a serious problem with the healers out there can't cure crap. And so we need all the YouTube healers out there. And so all I'm saying for you YouTube healers is respond with love. Know that some people are going to test your strength and your awareness. And that's what I'm talking about, the spirituality versus academics. Don't let these things rattle you. Know what's truth. No, there is going to be some people that just can't get up to these levels. Okay, you notice when you don't, I back them down. I back them down to vegetables, I back them down, and we work them back up slower. We can do that. I don't know what Serge is eating, but you can do that. You can go slower, go back to the vegetables, and then get more fruit. Make sure it's good fruit, and take off a little slower, because the more toxic you are, the more problems you're going to have during detox. But to think that health is a result of vegetables and nuts and lots of water and everything is contrary to nature for your species. Now, it might make you feel that way, because if you do have high candida, then you have to use ways to consider it. So you have fun, Serge. I appreciate you being on the YouTube. These sick people have somewhere to go, and at least they have all the beautiful, loving people on YouTube. Yes, some people get testy, no question, on both ways. But it's all a part of our growth together, and we need to grow together. And we need to work out our differences and go down the other way. No one said you had to stay on high fruit diets. I will say, if you have high candida problems, you got to use herbs to get rid of them. And you got to move your lymph system, and you got to fix why you have so much candida. Either sulfur, adrenals, you're not metabolizing your sugars. Remember, we've been promoted as starch being the healthy food, and of course, humans can't break down that level of sugar. No animals really can. It causes problems in every animal that consumes starch, not just the Homo sapien. So yeah, we have problems with that, but there's ways to get this out of you. And if you're highly involved, remember, some of the people that have a lot of sulfurs in the body, they're going to have a hard way to get healthy. Some people freak out, they can't do it, they bip and that fits their consciousness, everything else, okay. We understand that there's a lot of sick people there, Serge, that come to us, more than we can handle. Why? They've even tried diets like yours that you're on right now, Serge. I've seen that right now. This isn't to demean you at all. I think you're doing well. I think that you got to find your way, and I think you bring up some good points. I even have to look at your case to see why you didn't get well in 7 months or better. I'd have to look at your case, look at your eyes, man. But let's treat everybody with respect. I think that's real important that we do. And, I get testy myself sometimes, but I really want to always address things spiritually, because this is where we need to be. We have to understand that the mind has had its little jaunt, and that we can't use that side anymore. I'll say we have to use it in balance, but we have to start to understand our higher selves. And I hate to use it in that way, not meaning separation, but more aware self. And that is who we are without the help of the mind. So thank you, Serge, for being part of this. Sorry you didn't work out, but that's okay. This is a high level, and some of the more toxic people don't do well. And remember, when you go into these programs, go on to it with body, mind, and soul. Just go into it like you're going to tear this on and you're going to take on a new friend. If you have ups and downs, that's why we have people out here to help. Not all our staff has had years of understanding, so give them some breaks. They're working and learning and growing too. You can't find people with this high level of understanding. You guys are getting it, but you see what it takes once you get it, and the maturity of it, and working through it, and how you adapt it with people that can't handle the higher levels. This is all very important stuff. Serge brings up some very good points, and very hard to handle some of these areas. With someone like Serge, you bring them down a little bit, balance them out. If you have to kill fungus for a while before you get them too high in fruits, and that's what we do. But to not say this program is worthy is bullshit. We've had, I don't know, if you went through our files of those people that do the programs, especially those with tumors and cancers that are advanced, the predominance wins, gets their health back. There's always going to be a few in your lives and my lives that come to us too advanced. The medical doctors have ravaged their body with acids, have suppressed everything until they're just hanging on with a thread. You can't judge those. Those are hard cases for even me to get. So don't feel bad about these cases. These people made wrong choices, and therefore they're probably going to lose their body. They're not going to lose themselves. They're just going to drop their body and get another one, or go on to another field of activity. We're all going to do it someday. There's no shame in that. And you don't have to get bent out and Serge and think it's, no. You're going to leave your body too, Serge. We all are. So just remember that. This is just a process of activity, game playing, and then back aware again. And so we need you all. We need you all to help others. And don't be intimidated by people like Serge. But at the same time, we must learn by people. And what are they saying that might be true about us and that we can correct? And we want to be professional. And we want to be truthful. And we want to be as spot on as we can. But also people have to give you guys a break and know that you're learning something most people don't know about. And so I also give you guys a thumbs up because you guys have done well. And yes, we always shift through our little attitudes, and you see it on you. You see our whole family going up. But that's okay. Always meter yourself. And it's hard sometimes to see yourself involved in the process of egotism, narcissism, like getting angry when someone doesn't agree with you and things like that. It's even hard sometimes for me sometimes, but that's our spirituality or lack thereof. So we must always get that mind out there and just take a deep breath and go, it's not me. The problem isn't with me, meaning you or Teddy here. The problem is with our system, with this level of consciousness. We must change this level of consciousness or this level of lack of understanding of life and get more understanding of the higher aspects of God. We're like focusing like a flashlight. We can only see where the flashlight, that's the mind. The mind can only see where the flashlight is shining. What about all the other stuff that's around? That's soul. You can only see that as consciousness. The flashlight is the mind. That's why the mind is so limited, and yet it thinks it's so big. How interesting. But anyway, you all have fun. I just picked this up with Serge, and I wanted to go over this a little bit for both sides because Serge is right in his side, but also Serge is not taking the time to find out his problems. But he might need to enjoy that level where he's at. Good. I'm glad he found that and feels good about it. But it also tells me that what he's saying, he has so much water. He's a very dehydrated guy, very acidic. Going to take a while to get his health back. And it's okay to feel good, to hold your own, Serge. But just remember in the future that you start feeling symptoms again coming your way. Just remember to go a little slower, get on parasite formulas, get go on a good parasitic cleanse, and then get your adrenals up so you will metabolize sugar. Stay away from starches and all that crap, of course. I would be very light on the nuts, too, which is only 5%, is not much. But I would also have a little more fruit than you're having. You can't hide from this too long, Serge. All right, everybody, you have fun today. Again, may the blessings be. Namaste, and I love you all. Watch those dreams. And watch them in color.